Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma ihdina fi man hadayt, wa afina fi man afayt, wa tawallana fi man tawallayt, wa barik lana fi ma a'tayt, wa qina sharra ma qadayt, fa innaka taqdi wa la yuqda alayk. إنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت فلك الحمد على ما قضيت نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Inshallah, as you see on the screen that we are going to study the Inshirah. So it is, as you all know, that we are following the chronological revelations of the Quran. This is the 12th revealed chapter. You know, maybe definitely you know or you heard that almost 2/3 of the Quran was revealed during the Meccan period. So it is quite more denser than the verses revealed in the sequence of the revelation of the Quran. Meccan period has received more revelations than the Medinian period. Okay, this is the 12th revealed chapter, although we have been studying the short chapters, but we will soon start studying the long chapters, and we will maybe cover more quickly than as we do it while we are studying the short chapters, because short chapters include a very dense meaning. This chapter, Inshirah, quite a lot of number of scholars, including some companions, consider it as the one chapter with Duha. And Duha in Inshirah was one chapter. Doesn't matter, but what is important for us to bear in mind that this is, if not really as a separate chapter of the Quran, but if we study it and try to understand it, we have to understand understand this chapter within the context of the previous chapter that we studied for the 4 or 5 weeks. So try to remember what we have talked about the previous chapter, Duha. So it is a kind of continuation of the revelation. So let's see what the original language of the Quran says. Alam nashrah laka sadrak. I think when you hear this verse, it will not relieve your heart for you. You see that the relationship between.
You have to change that one.
Yeah. Sorry.
You can bring it closer.
No, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Why do we do that? This remote control. So the previous chapter told us that he was an orphan. We took care of you. You were poor and meanless, and we provide everything what you needed, etc., etc. Now, Inshirah means maybe prime meaning is expansion. Sometimes Inshirah making more clearer the meaning of something, sometimes it's cut off. It doesn't matter. These are the people's business who deal the Quran from grammatic and Arabic language perspective. So we don't. We just try to understand the general message, not a very detailed message, as related to our practical life now. So our practical life, as far as if we say that you is, do not relieve your heart is, whose heart is it? Yeah, we understood that, we learned that it's my heart. It's my Creator is speaking to me about my heart. So it is a kind of rhetoric question. We know that it is obvious. Did we not relieve your heart for you? It's not a question that did we do it and I forgot what happened, what I did. No, yes, we did. Definitely, it is expected from the reader to confirm it. So we will say, we are expected to say, as the readers or addressee of the revelation. Now, as far as I am concerned, now I am expected to say, yes, you expanded my heart. You gave a relax into my heart. Do you say that? As far as your relationship with your Creator is concerned, yeah, he took care of everything. You know, he expanded my heart. All my stresses, all my worries about the future is gone. Is it? No. Frank, I like Frank. I said, no, we are all full of concerns about anything. So, who else doesn't feel that his heart has not been really expanded, relaxed, comfortable? Who you don't? So you have some concerns, and
Sure.
you have as well. Or who else?
Yes, all of us.
You have some worries about your future, or your life, or something.
And who hasn't?
I don't.
Who hasn't?
I don't.
Okay.
Unless, I mean, reaching the complete
Well, not
clear light
complete.
or satisfaction.
Let's not be ideal. I understand. Let's not be ideal. I mean, somehow I'm free of worries for my life. That's all right. I feel very comfortable. Everything is really provided for me. Whatever I need is there. And
consciousness of this.
no,
Leave the heart.
ideally, we shouldn't speak in ideal terms now, saying that ideally I should have no concern, but I have. Ideally, of course, I shouldn't be really concerned about my life, my future. But in reality, I have many concerns and worries. Yeah. What will happen to me? Or how can I get this one that I need it? And I want to get this one. It's not really ready for me, etc., etc. And also, having a comfortable heart requires what? Comfortable future expectation. Are you? Do you have a comfortable future expectation? Tomorrow, next year, after you die? No worry. No, I don't. I know. Not because I am careless. No, I'm sure everything will be taken care of. Because if everything has not been taken care of, my heart would never feel relieved. Yeah, because lots of concerns would definitely bother me. So you say you have some worries. You have some. Who else? Something concerns about his future. No concern at all. Nobody. You have some. Okay. Let's start from the closest one. Please come in. Come. Yeah. That's what worries you? What are you bothering about? Right.
I guess it's not that simple, like in terms of what my answer is going to be. So there are a few things. One is
You may not name them because it may be personal, but
sure.
what you can see, for example, some things bothers me as far as my life. For example, physical need, material need, financial need, security need, this kind of things. Yeah, I don't want to say that, my income is not enough, so please help me for something like infer it.
Yeah, no, thanks. I guess the first one is what I like about this verse as well is that it kind of directs it towards my heart. And while I reflect on my existence, so I guess I'm bringing my existential concerns into play first. When I reflect on my existence, theoretically, logically, and perhaps even from a belief perspective to a certain extent, it all makes sense. And when
it means you are relaxed, you are comfortable. Theoretically. Yeah, theoretically.
Yes. So that's, I guess, the key word, right? So when it comes to feeling comfortable or feeling relieved, I think that's where one of my challenge lies, where at least personally, I'm not able to connect or transfer maybe or transform the theoretical understanding into a feeling. Normally, and I've thought about this, but I think normally it's because often we take our feelings and then we transform those feelings into some thought, like, why am I feeling this way? Or what is the purpose of this feeling? But for it to be the other way around, where it makes sense to my thought first, it makes sense to my rational approach, my, I don't know, brain or mind, whatever you want to call it, like more, not just the matter, but I guess you get my point. Transforming that back into a feeling. So am I making sense here?
Yeah, now rationally you are convinced, but your feelings, of course, the sadr means really chest,
Sure.
without the breast, but really we know that it means I feel not under stress in my chest. Feelings are comfortable.
Right.
Feelings are relaxed.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's one. And just a second aspect to this is perhaps mindfulness of even my conviction. So if I'll reference the last, let's say, 11 chapters that we've read. How mindful am I of the belief that I have in the last 11 chapters, to a point where I'm constantly living with those, as opposed to trying to live life as a result of those. It's basically, I don't know. I think it's, how do I phrase that? I said this before. I was going to answer. This is going to be a complicated answer. It feels like how we've always referenced, like, oh, this isn't just knowledge, right? It isn't just information that you understand and you conclude with, but it needs to be part of you, provided that you accept it or understand it. I guess there are elements of that, like, if I'm internalizing this, which I am trying at least my best, then how come it's not becoming a part of me, but it still feels like information? Information that I have to tap back into, be mindful of, think over again, reflect, internalize, and then maybe feel some level of, I guess, contentment with that belief. But I think the mindfulness aspect kind of falls short. And yeah.
Now, not as a response or answer to anything that you didn't raise a question. So what I'm now going to say, we have to make the distinction between being aware that this is the true way of understanding of life or existence, but I have not been trained enough to adopt, to educate my feelings accordingly. That is a different subject. Mm-hmm. Now, we are not talking in idealistic sense, because we are all growing, educating, developing ourselves in matters related to our condition. Right. You know, we cannot become convinced about one subject in one night, on one day. So one needs to be assimilated into our feelings. So although belief is directly related to one's understanding and transferred into one's feelings, but feelings always need education. Feelings always need progression or settling down. For example, even if you are told that whatever you need, whatever you need is going to be provided by somebody or by state. Don't worry about anything. You say, okay, I'm told this. I understand that it's going to be provided, but can you just start feeling very comfortable and secure in your life? No, you have to get evidence, more evidence. You have to be more convinced about this statement or this promise, more and more, but you need to work on it. You cannot learn any subject in one day, even in 1 year. It takes quite a long period of time. We say that even the teachings and not the teachings plus education of the Quran took 23 years. That means it gives an approximate time period for human beings that it is quite normal to develop security within your own being. And if it takes 23 years, it's human. But someone may take the extreme cases or exceptional cases that if I die before, never mind. As long as you are registered with the school, as long as you are studying and following the classes, you don't have to be graduate. You don't have to graduate because you are not, as long as you don't kill yourself, then it is the decision of the, let's say, school administration, which is the school of the university administration, by his owner, who is the owner, we call it Lord or the Rab of the who gave the existence of the universe. He takes you away from the school, but it's not my responsibility. Yeah? If I had been given opportunity, I would continue my education until the end. That is my way. That's a way of life. So we should never be idealistic. Otherwise, it turns into perfectionism, and perfectionism is the enemy of any progress, because you don't see the perfect, the last point in your life. You say, oh, this is not for me. It is very difficult. For example, if a child, the parents, especially if they are from Pakistan, Bangladesh, they said, you have to be an engineer, okay, a doctor, as a title, very solid title. They don't want to have a son who is sociologist. What? Sociology? What do you do? What do you produce? So they don't want them. They want engineer, or doctor, or I don't know, at least accountant, a profession by name. So anyway, the child at the age of 5, 6, 7, when you ask them, why are you, what do you want to do? I want to become a doctor. How old is he? 7 years old? Second grade student? But I want to be a doctor. That is quite all right, quite normal. You can take this. Yeah. Okay. You buy a free chair for your hat only. It's so precious.
You can see it on it.
Well, take it. Someone may. Okay. Now, it takes time to become something professional in a subject. So that's what we have to do as well. We ourselves have to have the same attitude. I am trying to digest more and more, because understanding something rationally is normal. It is okay. It's easy to me. It's easy. But digesting it within your own feelings, really it is hard. So it shouldn't frustrate us that we have not digested yet. Am I on the way? Am I on the path? That is the path. Allah, even in the language of the Quran, never says that you have perfected your religion. Yeah, God says, I have perfected the message, but it is now your turn to learn it. The textbook is ready. Yeah, textbook is ready. Yeah, completed. Now we have to go through it, and there is no end to study and digest it. We shouldn't frustrate it, and we should be very careful. In any case, never, ever we should be perfectionist. Now, aim at perfect level, but not perfectionist. Because perfectionist looks for the perfection level at every stage of his life, her life. And this is very dangerous. You cannot find the perfection in any stage of your life, as long as you live in this world. Maybe it's a kind of joke as well. We perfect our life on earth when we die. Yeah, that is the perfection decided by God. Because even if we are not, the owner of the universe, the owner of the creation said, that's enough. I understand who you are. That's enough. That's his decision, not my decision. Right? So don't worry about it. No about perfection. So let's listen to you. What bothers you that you don't feel really relieved?
I think most of mine centers around just kind of things that I can't control, or like if someone in my life is going through something, how much of a help I can be, kind of insecurity about how helpful I am or how much of an impact I can have on others. That's
now, have you tried? It is a kind of, again, joke, but at the same time, it has the reality in it, truth in it. Have you ever find to have an impact on yourself? Have you ever thought about it on yourself? To have an impact on your own feelings using your free will?
I mean,
how much have you worked on yourself?
I mean, I guess in those terms, I've sought out other things. If I feel like I need help with something, I'll seek out other things. Or if I'm upset, I'll try to calm myself down. So in that sense, I guess, but never really thought about it that deeply.
Why I ask this question, not to have an answer from you to relieve your personal matter. No, we have to have an impact on ourselves first. While we are using our free will, we have to concentrate on our personal responsibilities first towards myself. Because of this free will is a magical thing in our life, really. Because of this free will, we have to use it consciously in order to first educate ourselves, teach ourselves, convince ourselves. How are we going to do it? Aim at it. That my main concern is to have an impact on my own feelings. that is a little bit slightly aside our main subject now. Now, I think I was expecting you to ask me, why do we say that relieve in our heart rather than relieve in our mind? The Quran says, we have, I mean, I'm putting it in not in the question form, but the normal language form, we have relieved your heart. It is, we did it for you. Or do you think our Creator, we are not discussing how did we come to this conclusion of having a Creator. That is beyond our discussion for this class. We have discussed on many occasions the subject, but this class, we say, okay, we understood, we have a Creator. We cannot come out of accidental chance. We are convinced about it. Okay, we have a Creator, the purposeful Creator. Everything is provided by Him, prepared by this. Now, He says, I have relieved your heart, not your mind. Why do you think? It means the control of my mind, how it is going to work, is more or less under my choice, my control. How should I reason about it? Which kind of evidences I should look for? Do I have the evidence out there? Even somebody may say that, we'll come to this point as well. It's a very heavy loaded verse, actually. Inshallah, we can study 1 or 2 verses today. Like, okay, inshallah, we will try our best. Now, even somebody says, okay, God has sent His guidance to human beings so that by following the guidance, human beings will relieve themselves from all worries, because there are lots of promises in the guidance, which is now, as far as our study is concerned, the Quran. And if we really understand the reality of this guidance and confirm it, if we are able to confirm it, if we are not, that's another subject. If we are able to confirm it, we will be relieved from all our worries. Still, in order to understand the Quran, what are we supposed to do? How are you going to start in understanding the Quran?
Reasoning.
Sorry?
Reasoning, using the mind.
Trying to understand what it is saying, whether it makes sense to me or not. And then internalizing, but first,
learn with your mind.
Rationally being convinced.
And then internalize with
Yeah.
your heart.
And then take it to yourself. Again, another note on your comment. Have an impact on your feelings. How? Try to communicate with your feelings. Is it really true? Did you really accept it? Or are you ready to practice it, to put into practice? Rationally, I may say, my typical example, very complicated. It is difficult to understand. This building has an architect. It's an example. Is it difficult? Yeah, must have an architect. Okay. This building is an architect. I think you studied in this building more than we did. Eh? No, not you can't do more than I did, because the first day they opened, I was here. This building opened. Do you remember the days under the church?
Yeah.
In the basement? Yeah, from there.
I was here when the Islamic Center in the basement of the Catholic Church here.
Yeah, so we are together. Okay. Now, a frank question, and this is a very simple question, and answer is very simple, but we have to be frank. Have you ever thought of the architect of this building while you are using it? The answer is recorded. Yes or no?
No.
Yeah, I understand your head moving. No, but microphone is stupid, doesn't understand. It only gets the vibration of the air, not vibration of your head. Okay, so no, look, you see, rational conviction is necessary, the first step or the threshold of the building of belief. If you don't go through that, you never get into it. For example, now they use this, my very complicated example, this building as an architect. So no, it happened by chance throughout billions of years of evolution. Evolved by chance, happened to be. And is there any way to train your feelings now? You can train your feeling according to chance. How can you convince yourself according to chance? You know, what will happen to me tomorrow? Well, let's see what chance brings to me.
No, so it's fine.
Can you be secure in any matter related to your life?
No.
That is not human. Attributing the existence of anything to chance, accident, is not human. It is just made up story. It can't apply to my humanity. Because if I see my existence as a result of chance, it means
Certainty.
no certainty. If there is no certainty in the existence, in your existence, you cannot have security in your being, which that is extremely important now. The subject is becoming hot and serious. Consciousness requires security. Otherwise, your consciousness is always fluctuating, going and down, and what's happening, what is that? Oh, can I have any meaning in my life, etc. Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations, I get it. That was the expected day. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I'm very happy to see you both. Yeah, okay. Consciousness requires comfort, security. This is human consciousness. So reason questions, because reason tries to evaluate the cause and effect relationship or how the things are happening. But consciousness, whatever you do, as if consciousness tells the reason, but give me security. When it comes to the heart, it means feelings. Yeah, consciousness comes into the discussion or argument, debate. I need security. So you will be relaxed. As the word says, you will be revealed of your worries, your anxieties. Right? Okay. So, yeah.
So, my question is that if you are extremely comfortable about your future, like for me, like I want to do X, Y, and Z in my career or whatever, and I feel very comfortable that, everything will happen. I really don't need to worry about all that. Do you think, I sometimes feel that that's being arrogant. Like I'm like so sure of myself that this will happen and I will get X, Y, and Z in my future from God. So
now, what is your reference to your future? What do you really refer to when you say my future?
Like career-wise, for example.
Sorry?
Career. Like if I want to get to a certain stage in my, medical profession. So,
for example.
Yeah. Is it like arrogant to assume that he will give because I want it? Or do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Now, as far as the teachings of the Quran is concerned, the main theme of the Quran is not your feeling secure in your future, in your profession, but how do you attribute this certainty as the to whom, to what? Can you make anything certain just 5 minutes later? Or who can make it certain for you? The one who is going to take care of 5 minutes later existence. Who can guarantee the existence of tomorrow? Let's make simple language. Tomorrow's existence. Who can guarantee? Yeah. China? America? Tomorrow's existence. Yeah. People have the fear of earthquake in New York. They are trembling now. Right? But your understanding, your connecting, excuse me, the language was wrong, connecting your existence to its own source and defining the source as an absolute being by attributing the guarantorship to this absolute being. What do you feel? Yeah, that is the point. Because our expectations are results of our own speculations about future, saying that if I am the best doctor, whatever, that's a heart doctor, it's very precious, or brain surgery doctor, so surgeon, then I will be happy. Can you guarantee that yourself? Then you are the best doctor and very the wanted doctor or sought after doctor in New York. Everybody is really on in your schedule. And do you think you will be done and everything is perfect for you? No. If you have a horrible, God forbid, family life, office is nothing.
What is nothing?
Office, success in the office and money is nothing. When you read the stories of the celebrities, they have millions, but they keep, they are really sustain their life on drugs or other things. Unbearable. Now, your confusion to me, excuse me, accusing you of having a confusion, this confusion in this matter is attributing the guarantorship of the future to yourself, which doesn't work. It is obvious. Just shift the point of view. You can say, I'll try my best. That is my free will given to me. I will try my best, but I am not going to guarantee anything. I don't know what is good for me in the future, but I trust the source of my existence. Be careful, a little bit finer point now. I trust the source of the sense of desiring for security in my future. Desire. Where did you get this sense of desire? It has a source of existence. The source of existence, since he gave this desire, he must take care of it. And I must trust him. But if something happens within the conditions of this world, which goes against your worldly or self-centric expectations, then you are in trouble. Not only, if I am doing the same thing, I will be in trouble. Why? Because I cannot guarantee anything. I am imposing my expectations on the plan of the all-knowing creator. It means, hey, you don't know. Please do what I did because it's good for me. That's why we keep in our discussions repeating this point. When you are praying to God, present your prayer in the way of worship, not in the way of bargaining. Right? We usually confuse this. So, for example, I am ill, which is the case. I said, please Allah, give me health because it's better for me. No. فَلَكَ الْحَمْدُ عَلَى مَا قَضَيْتَ. We, at the beginning, one of the part of the prayer, we presented to Allah that whatever you execute, that is not only you preferred, but executed at the end. I am thankful for it. Why? Because I trust your wisdom, I trust your mercy, I trust your power to do it. Why? By looking at my own existence, I understand that the one who gave me this sense and really equipped me with this sense and gave me this knows what he's going to do. Yeah. Have you seen any fault in your existence? Existence, not in your life. But everything is really messed up in my life. But in my existence, I see no fault. So how can I not trust the source of my existence who prepared me, endowed me all these expectations? Every sense, I think this is crucial to understand. Every sense which is given to us is a promise. Do you understand this? From my Creator. For example, I want to see. Yeah. He gave you this sense and he's going to provide you the eyes. Don't worry about it. I want to be happy. He gave this sense. Who wants to be miserable? Some postmodern people, exempt postmodern people, they want to be miserable. They, how do you say, they really distort the beauty of the creation and made something ugly. The more ugly, the uglier is the more artful nowadays by some people. I mean, they are in minority. Don't worry about them. They are freak or whatever you call them. They are weird people. Exceptional, a few people. But majority of the people want perfect. Yeah, and see the creation as perfect, right? But my expectations may not be perfect, may be self-centric. Why? Well, should I not want to be the best doctor in New York? No, you can. Of course, you can, but be careful. It is not you who is going to guarantee the best future for you. Maybe you don't know, by not being successful in your profession would be better for you. You don't know. Now, maybe to be healthy may make you arrogant, not in need of protection of your Creator. I can do it anyway, anything I want. Yeah. So they may not feel needy, weak. So they may become arrogant. But if we say that it is not me, whatever the sense is given to you, the Creator of this sense is promising you that it is going to be satisfied. If only you choose to acknowledge his authority over your senses. But if I say, this is my sense, I, underlined I, am going to satisfy it, you will find yourself in trouble. Never you will be able to succeed in your expectation. I think it's understandable. It's no problem. Is it difficult? To practice it difficult, but understanding it easy. So we have to work on it. We have to contemplate on it. Look, for example, let's say, but some people say, if I got this job, it will be better. Yes, as far as your expectations are concerned, it would be better for you. Try to get this job by using your free will. But at the same time, leave the result to the Creator, because you cannot guarantee that getting this job will be the best future for you. But The one who gave you the sense to be successful in your profession is going to complete it. But it doesn't mean that this one promising that whatever you think will be fulfilled, but the consequence of your feeling will be completed. Do you understand this? You may not be successful in your profession, but what do you expect from your profession? To be the happiest man in the world, more comfortable person in the world. So to have your future secured with your savings, etc. This is for one purpose, to have a pleasurous life forever. Who can provide a pleasurous life for you? The one who gave you this sense of expectation. So say, as far as I know, this is my way, and I have to work for it within the conditions that you created me by obeying your order. What is the order? You have to study, you have to do research, etc., or get a training, whatever you start from, internship, and etc. You carry on the steps, but leave the result to the creator of this sense of expectations of secure future. Now that is why the Quran almost
Sorry.
Okay.
Work.
It doesn't matter really.
Relax.
Let me see. No, it's
First
okay.
time
Don't bother. Don't bother. If it says red and tells me that it is going to die, and I will not. Somebody
that.
knows it, how to make it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay.
Plugs it back.
Sorry?
Try to plug
He
it back.
plugs it back.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Forget the one. In a nutshell, we have to attribute the expectations to their real order. Now, almost 2/3 of the Quran, but literally 1/3 of the Quran, but meaning-wise, 2/3 of the Quran speaks about the relationship to the eternal life. It especially introducing the creator as the absolute being, which cannot be really excused within the limitations of this universe. The absolute being cannot be a part of this universe. So his power really overflows, if you like, this universe. So introducing that he is the absolute being, he has all power of all everything. He has the power over everything. What it says, this creation is nothing. Because this creation is temporary thing, that we are all transient here. Who is permanent in this world? But in order to have an transient world, limited life or existence, do I have to need an absolute source? No, just for example, you need what you need. I need a dinner for 2 cups, or for me, 3 cups, 3 plates of food. So I eat a lot. So
Yeah,
3 so 3 cups of food. So someone says, okay, here are 3, even more. I'm finished. Not 5. I cannot eat 5. The 5th cup is going to take it away, right? I don't have an infinite, I don't need an infinite source in order to satisfy myself in this universe. So God, be careful, in the language of the Quran, God introducing himself as the infinite being, absolute being, yeah? Promising, inferring this, promising that this word is not enough for him and for me too, because I have the sense of eternal happiness. Do you understand? But if you include this part, that God is the introducing himself to human beings while speaking verbal explanation. He is introducing himself to me, saying that I am the absolute being. I am powerful or over everything. I know everything. Yeah, I provided for you everything what you need. All these promises infer the necessity of the existence of eternal life. Do you understand? Do you follow this or not?
I'm confused.
You are confused. Yeah.
Only because I thought that if a meal is provided for me, it is essentially from the Creator.
No. In practical life, you need 3 plates of. It's an example.
Okay.
You need 3 plates of food, okay, for your dinner, or not that you don't need that one. 1 or 2 is enough for you. 3 for me. So you need the 3. In order to provide the 3 limited number of food, do you need limitless source?
That's what I'm saying. I thought I did. I thought that
No. You are referring to your belief. Practically, do you need limitless source?
No.
In order to get 3 plates of food.
I understand.
Now,
Okay.
if the source says, I have limitless, infinite source of existence, the creator. The creator of the food says, I am limitless. I am infinite source of food. So does it or doesn't it refer or doesn't it teach you that this worldly life in these conditions is nothing for me?
Without.
No.
Oh.
This news tells me that this worldly life is nothing for me to create. I have infinite qualities. So the future includes something beyond this world. It means it refers to the hereafter. Another type of creation. Hereafter means another type of creation, which satisfies my feelings as they deserve to be satisfied.
Intrinsically, but not physically.
No, physically as well. Your feelings, those. Look, do you have a, let me work on you personally so that it will be understood. Yeah. Let's now, we are not in this class, we don't use pre-accepted vocabulary. If we do it, we express that as we did, we accept that the universe is a creator. Now, it is not the subject of today's class. It has been studied on many occasions, but we say that this is, but now we are not accepting any pre-accepted concept. So think about, as a human being, you need $5. Okay. Somebody says to you, yes, I can provide it to you. Do you expect this man has endless sources, or he has $5, or maybe 10, he will give me $5. Yeah. So you don't expect the eternal source. If the man says, what do you want? $5. Come on. It's nothing. Even you want 5 billion, it's nothing. I have the absolute source. What is he referring to? What is this man referring to? Yeah. More than what you are experiencing in this world. It means the eternal creation. This is a transient creation. So if you read the Quran like this, I would say 90% of the Quran directly refers to the necessity of the existence of eternal life. Now, so it is so important. Why? Because the creator of human beings or the universe interferes into my life with verbal explanation, make everything clear with the language of the Quran's being, make it clear and understandable, because When I look at the creation, yes, I infer that it has an absolute source who would be able to give existence to these things, the universe and everything in the universe must have absolute source. But this is inference. This is only inference. You have to decipher the meaning that they speak. For example, the tree speaks to you, mountain speaks to you, cloud speaks to you, air speaks to you, but you have to infer. You have to make logical consequence by looking at it. Look, its creation is so wonderful. I cannot attribute it to anything, right? In the universe, that the air molecules are created by or given existence by something. You cannot attribute it to anything. So it must have a source of existence which is not within the limitations of this universe. So it must be beyond the universe. Beyond the universe means, how can you express anything beyond the capacity of the universe?
Not of the nature. Absolute.
Absolute, infinite. Yeah. If I tell you a number which cannot be explained by using the numbers, numerical numbers, what does it mean? What do I mean?
Infinite.
Infinite. And every human logic concludes this: infinite. So if the source must be necessary in the infinite, so whatever the sense he gave me, I am expecting this source that he is going to satisfy it. You continue the sentence.
In an infinite scale.
Infinitely. Yeah. It refers to the necessity of the existence of afterlife or another creation, resurrection, whatever the language you use. God speaks to us in order to give us this news. God doesn't speak to me in order to teach me how to cultivate corn. It's very famous in America. So, so the farmers know it by the teachings of the order of the universe. You can study and learn, but can you study and learn by looking at the universe? What is the purpose of the existence of this universe? You see that it is really strange. It is really exciting. Yeah. But if you always think of it in black and white terms, if you want to analyze any matter, you have to make it in extreme senses. In practical life, you will find yourself in between, not in the extreme points. Now, black and white, it means if there was no absolute power behind the existence of this universe would definitely have some inconsistency by chance. At least by chance, because there is no creator, conscious creator, but at least by chance, some inconsistency is there. I was speaking to a person who said, I mean, the young man, I don't really take seriously the claim. He said he's an atheist, he doesn't believe it. Okay. Can you show me one thing which is existing within the universe without being completely, with no exception, bound to follow the order of the universe, no free will? So has free will? No. I don't have to follow the order of the universe. Show me one thing. And he had something like a small piece of paper. Where is it? I dropped it. Do you think it is dropping by chance? He was young and innocent. He said, yeah, it was just going like, no, as a mathematician. Is there any mathematician among us? You can calculate it. If you know the parameters or the data that air flowing, gravity power, and the weight of the paper, and the surface of the paper, yeah? And you know that air lifts the things up, So this power, all of them put into the equation, you know where it is going to drop. Yeah, it has to bound, it has to follow the order of the universe. Nothing in this universe has a free will, so that they don't have to follow the order of the universe. It means there's no chance. There's no chance in the universe, in the existence of the universe. Everything's bound to follow the order of the universe. They are obedient. Yeah? That's what the Quran says. Angels are obedient. They do whatever they are asked to do. They are ordered to do. It means everything is represented in the language of the Quran by angels, by an angel, or not angels actually, because the things, they have many qualities. Every quality is represented by an angel in the language of the Quran. So they obey the order. None of the angels says, "Nah, I'm not going to do it this time." It means none of the things in this world, physical being in this world, acting freely from obedience of the law order of the universe. Whoever established the order of the universe, his will is being practiced. Yeah. It's a very famous who has the Christian background. There's a very famous saying in his will be done. Yeah. Not will be done. In the Quranic language, his will is being done. Not will be. Is being done. Now, be and it is. Yeah, that is very Quranic. Very, very amazing Quranic. Be and it is. That it will be. No, be and it is. And no exception. How these crazy people said it is, the universe is it came into existence by chance. I never understood in my mind. By chance exploded. Explosion needs purpose, not by chance. Do you think there is something by chance explodes, or according to the law? According to the order of the universe. It's nothing. Oh, I don't know. They are crazy to me.
Yeah, big bang.
Stupid. To me, not, I wouldn't use any bad word, but it is inhuman and against human nature. No, discard it. Forget about it. So the Quran talks about eternal life. It means human senses are created for eternity. So as long as you are aware of the source, which Quran teaches us, or in the Quran, the creator of the universe speaks to human being, giving the news about, in order to give the news about eternity. So how are you going to gain it? How are you going to have security in this understanding? Provide the evidence. And the evidence is where? Sorry? Now, the universe. Your experience with the universe. But you may hear something just reverse. Evidence is the Quran. No. Quran brings the evidence for its claim from the universe. So the first evidence is universe. Quran is the confirmation, verbal confirmation of the evidence or witnessing of this universe. Understand this approach? Yes, Egyptians must be very careful. They love saying that, oh, God knows everything. Wallahu a'lam. I don't like this language. Yeah, because it doesn't represent reality. It goes against what the Quran teaches. Do you understand? So we say what the ultimate word belongs to God, so it's in the Quran. ultimate word belongs to God is a pre-accepted concept. How do we know that ultimate word belongs to God? Because the universe witnesses that whatever is happening to me, it is not from me. La ilaha. So, therefore, illahu. So, Quran says, La ilaha illahu. Trust me. Quran never says, trust universe. Blind matter. How can I trust blind matter? As long as they are employed by the Creator, I use them. I benefit from them. I go to the tree and pull up the fruit and eat it. Why? It's provided for me. I didn't bring it. I didn't make it. And the matter itself it cannot make it. So I just use it. I just benefit from the universe. But I am expected to acknowledge the source. When I acknowledge the source, all my worries must be referred to the source of my feeling. Do you like to be insecure in your life? Why? Why?
Anxiety provoking.
Sorry?
It makes you anxious.
No, why don't you want to be anxious?
Because I'm programmed like that.
Yeah,
Not
you
liking
are.
it.
What did he say?
I say it.
I'm programmed
Yeah.
not to like it.
The one who gave you existence gave you the sense of dislike of anxiety. It means it is a promise. I will free you from your anxieties if only you bring this understanding and train your feelings accordingly. Otherwise, you will be in trouble by trying to solve your problems. Now, do we understand now what this verse says? We have relieved your heart. I'm simplifying the language. I'm changing the question form into a affirmative form. We have relieved your heart. Study, realize, understand this. Under the witnessing of the creation, it is there. Verbal explanation is here. So combine them together. Do you understand? Verbal explanation doesn't speak, again, extremely important, extremely important, verbal explanation doesn't speak on void, vacant, vacuum, speaks in the under the witnessing of the action. Somebody else wanted. Huh? Are you from Egypt? Forget about it. After sister was first. Yeah, that's joking. I really love Egyptians. So I make no astaghfirullah. I never make this mistake. I'm joking. Of course, that's joke. Huh? Yeah, please go ahead.
So you talked earlier, I think you mentioned how this verse is talking about the heart and not the mind. And so I guess my question is there a possibility to have relief in the heart but not have it in the mind? And how do they like interfere with each other?
Yeah. Now, do you make any decision without thinking about it in your life? It is in the creation, human creation, that we use our reason, our mind automatically, right? But for example, if you read any biology, physics, chemistry, whatever the subject you study, politics, or I don't know, psychology, yes? Do they ever refer any understanding, interpretation of existence to the heart? Yeah, that's what we don't know in this world unless we are taught. Because we take it for granted that we exist as we do, but while we are using our free will, what do we use? Mind. It is automatically ingrained in us. We don't need guidance about this. But sometimes about what? You know, I provided the comfort for your heart. But it doesn't mean that, oh, I didn't provide the comfort for your mind. No, it is necessary to go to the heart through mind, we said. So practically, if I really look at my own existence, I understand that my free will directly refers to mind process. And then I have to refer to the heart and, of course, discover the guidance from the creator of the heart and try to reconcile it. Which what? Reconcile between what? I mean, we are going into some subtle subjects, actually. Well, I have to reconcile between what? My consulting and listening to my feelings with no partiality. It means impartially. What do I expect? What do I feel? I have fear of something. I have hope of something. This is the heart's desire, feelings. Yeah, perfect life. Yeah, perfect profession, perfect marriage, perfect children. Question mark. So it's difficult. So we want perfect ones, not in the way that we talk perfectionism, but the best possible we want this. That is in me. But reconciliation between what my feelings say, what the verbal explanation about me, which promises me a future, says. Do I see the harmony between two? Like, for example, about the necessary existence of the source, the creator, and the qualities of the creator, reconciliation must be made between what? What the universe says, what the source says. Now, about my own personal feeling, what my feeling says, what the speech, verbal explanation of the creator, my creator says. I have to see the parallel. If I don't see the parallel, there is a problem. Problem of comprehending the subject, understanding the subject. So reconsider it. Don't come to the sudden conclusion. So I might have misunderstood something from the verbal explanation. I might be evaluating my feelings under certain prejudices, expectations that I built up, not, if you like, in quote unquote, natural, the way I am made. I might have corrupted. For example, from the very beginning, you are told that you have to be a doctor. And then you start imagining that the only bright future is to be a doctor. And then God says, I relieved your heart from all worries, but I'm not a doctor. I couldn't make it. How do you say that I relieved your heart? You didn't. I am still not feeling satisfied about my life, but you say it means relieving your heart from all your worries means you must be satisfied. I am not satisfied because of my conditionings, that satisfaction lies in being a doctor. That is your problem. But leave the end with very simple. You want to be a doctor? Okay. Why? To secure your future. Okay. Security belongs to you, not belongs to your social security, your insurance company. They say we sure everything, but when it comes to reality, they say, oh, reject it, reject it, reject it. Those people who have the problems with insurance companies, they reject everything from the beginning. So you have to go back to the court or something and then claim it again, reclaim it again, and then they say, okay, we will give you 50% or something. So that really, they disappoint you. Okay. So do we have any more questions about this relieving your heart for you? But we have to say, I have to be comfortable in evaluating my feelings, and at the same time, not to distort them, not to make my own decision, but use it as it opens up to the eternity. For example, don't say that I want to be full, not hungry. Not in this world. No, eternally. So, do you want to have a happy life? A happy family life? Don't say that I want to have a happy family life. Say eternally. Because?
That's what I need.
Because the one who gave you this sense is infinite, eternal. So, as you deserve, as your capacity deserves to be, treat me accordingly, eternally. So, don't be cheap. I want to be happy in this world until I die. This is a cheap way of treating your humanity. Yeah, you are a human being. Human being is what? We use the word, the Quranic word. Human being is created for eternal happiness. So don't be simple. Don't reduce don't limit the absolute qualities of the Creator, treating you in a limited way. Oh, open it. Please, God, give me eternal happiness. But you can. You can, and the need is a promise from you. Look, we have to understand this opposite. Yeah, again, I think it needs to be restated because reinforced, because it is we don't really take into account this point. In order to understand the Creator, you have to understand first, by using your reasoning, which works within the conditions of this universe, that I am created. I need to be created. If someone cannot really make sense of within his own existence, her own existence, within the conditions of this universe, that I am not created, I am not given existence, just happened to be like this. Is there any way for this person to realize that there is an absolute source? No way. So everything starts from the opposite side. I am created. I am made. So I must have a maker. That is the logical conclusion. Now, first, I am created to obey observation, witnessing in the conditions of this universe. But the conclusion is not related to this universe, but referred by this universe to this conclusion. The universe says my creator must be absolute. Because if someone has a limited qualities, cannot be responsible or cannot really bear the responsibility of creating this world as it is. Everything is perfectly arranged, universe-wide. Everything is so detailed, with no exception. Not only the galaxies, no, go into an atom, it's another galaxy. Not a galaxy is not galaxy. There must be absolute. Everything is happening at the same time, with no delay. You know, if a source is limited, can give existence to this universe continuously at the same time, full perfection? For human logic, it says no. So we have to accept that we are created. So there must be an absolute creator, right? Does it make sense to you? Okay, the same thing come to your feeling now. Now, since you have the feeling of need of eternal happiness, it refers to
It's creator.
the creator of this sense must be eternal. It's very simple. Very simple and makes sense, logically consistent, must be eternal. Because he has given me the eternal soul. Can particles give me any sense alone that the sense will need eternity? Where is eternity? There is no eternity in the universe. No one can prove that there is eternity in the universe. The speculations, what the people say, universe is eternal itself, can they ever prove it? Is there any evidence that the universe is eternal? Just because they block their mind that there's no creator, how can I explain the existence of this universe? Probably it is eternal. There's a way out. It's a way out, not because they have evidence, not because they have some logical observation. No, just because if there is no creator, of course, what would you say? It must be like this as it is.
Coincidence. Yes.
Whatever, make up a word for it. Chance, they say chance, by chance. They, anything which doesn't fit the universe eliminated by particles themselves. They say, you are not good. Go, particles is choosing. You keep raising your hand, I think.
You keep ignoring me.
No, I mean, you are the closest one, so it is easy to ignore, So for the wives, they ignore their husbands, or the husbands ignore their wives first, and then their mothers or fathers and relatives. So,
I guess my question, going back to the $5 to $5 billion example,
it's a good example. I like that, but
yeah.
let me hear your point of view.
So let's say if I'm in need of $5 and I'm using this as an analogy. You're saying, okay, here I have $5 trillion.
Endless.
Right?
Endless, yeah.
Rationally, I'm like, okay, this person is telling me that I have endless, and let's say if I reflect on this need of $5, I conclude that you put me in a situation where I even need $5. Let's just say, right? Because we're saying that the source behind my desire, or my need, or my questions, is the same source behind behind what seems to be satisfying my questions, my desires, my need. If this is the case, again, now I'm approaching it as a human being. We said that my mind is like this first line of interaction. It's reasoning with it. It's reflecting on it. And it's like, okay, this person or this entity is making this claim. Clearly, it's the same entity that's put this desire in me. Therefore, it must be the entity to continue to fulfill my need for $5. Now, I guess to an extent, I can transfer this conclusion or this understanding onto my feelings, where it's like, don't worry, tomorrow I'll have $5 as well when I need it. But I can't help but to also constantly be in need, or constantly be in a position where I'm worried about getting those $5 the next day. It's like, it's still a question mark, because I have yet to live that moment. I have yet to live eternity. I'm living eternity now. So today I can conclude, you know what? I am completely satisfied with it. But if I have a tomorrow, based off of the evidence that I'm experiencing say the creator or the source must provide me five infinite amount of dollars because that's the claim that I can see today. But the question still remains as far as how I'm reflecting on it. And where I'm going at with this is there's wisdom in that question still existing, because what seems to surface as a result of this constant need that I'll still have this question, I'll still have this desire, is that if that need is endless, therefore that in itself is making the claim that the source behind the thing that's going to satisfy my need, or the source itself that's satisfying my need, must be endless as well.
Your relationship, I think this question has some points which are missed.
Okay.
Your relationship with the world is left to your free will, your responsibility,
Mhm.
but your mind and your feelings must be related to the eternal source. But as far as my practical life is concerned here, I need $5 today.
Mhm.
So look for it within the conditions of this world, but it is your search. If you like, it is an urge for you, motivation for you to contact with the universe in order to provide what is given to you and benefit from it. This is my relationship with the world, that I need $5 today. But what is expected of me? Why do you want to need $5 today? Because you want to satisfy your expectations. Will you want another $5 tomorrow? Yeah. The day after tomorrow? Yeah. But if you really consider your feeling, you want security for eternity to have $5.
Mhm.
Now, we should be careful not to confuse between having $5 today, practical life, and acknowledging that the source must provide me the ultimate purpose of this sense. The ultimate purpose of this sense was what? Being satisfied with your being, with your existence. So you can only provide with your existence, or you can only guarantee your existence with what? Attributing this expectation to an absolute source. If you don't refer it to the absolute source, you can only provide $5 today. You don't know about tomorrow. You don't know about tomorrow. So the speech says, I have endless dollars. Yeah? I provided for you. But if you limit your expectation for $5 today, then you are not referring to the word or to the promise of the creator of this sense. So you have to come. That's my responsibility to act within the order of this universe. So look for $5 today, but I am sure the ultimate expectations of having this $5 today is eternal security for my life. So eternal security can only be provided by the one who gave this sense to me. He gave me this sense. But today I have to go and search $5 for my temporary life. Temporary, when you may have it, you may have $3. It's okay. You may not have it. At the end, you may die. Doesn't matter if you don't have any, because your body dies. Your expectations, your feelings, your humanity, which is called the soul, human soul, doesn't die. That shouldn't die, because it must be whatever is fulfilled whatever is promised by the absolute one fulfilled. That's why the Quran is mostly related to eternal life. Whatever is told, you may not see the direct relationship, but really ultimately to the eternal life, telling you that God is providing everything for you and He is absolute in every sense, etc., etc. No. Are we satisfied with this verse somehow? That really God revealed my heart from all sorts of anxieties, worries. And He can, if only I refer all my troubles to God and don't be limited, narrow expectations, saying that I want to have where the best food you think that today, or whatever the best house in your imagination. This is your made up, your invention. But in reality, everything ultimately what? Absolute or the eternal happiness in any sense that is given to you. Eternal happiness is guaranteed. But in this world, we have to be interaction with the order of the universe. We can, I think the following verses are not very difficult, but we may go a bit, sorry, that's there. The second word is, وَوَضَعْنَا عَنْكَ وِزْرَكَ. Shall we go there or shall we stop here? It is already 8:30. Let's not go there. Let's hurry and really pile up on each other and mix it. So that is the Inshirah, which is called in Nashrah. Inshirah means relieving or relief, right? We have to understand that really we have to experience relief, but in order to experience it, logically understand, we have to work on it, train ourselves, and try to refer the source, refer any problem to the source. Even the problems are given to us for what? For what purpose?
Training.
Why the problems are given to us? You keep hearing, and I know it's a very, very, very wide rhetoric to test us. It is, excuse me, stupid. Why? Why am I expected to test? Am I here just for judgment? Or am I here to acknowledge who my Lord is? Which one? If I am here just to train myself and acknowledge who my owner, who my Lord is, no, I have to understand everything in terms of helping me to go through this education so that I will understand my Lord, who my owner is. But God will test me. What I don't know. So simplistic, but that's a literal translation of some word. لِنَبْلُوَكُمْ بَلِيَّةً. It's a test. It's my understanding. But in the Quranic word, Quranic context, it is a means of training in order to understand the absolute source. For example, if you never ever get ill, what do you see? Have you ever felt the need for healing? Is there any way that you can realize that such a thing, which is called health, is provided for you? No, you take it for granted. That's how I am. Even you wouldn't have the word in your language, health. Why? It doesn't mean anything. We can only understand what is going on in this creation in their contrast. If there was no illness, there would be no health for me. So if there was no health, I would never think that there is a source of health. So giving the illness is a blessing, not a test. Well, I really get angry with this word, translating the Beliya with test. As test, means of training, helping us to reach the ultimate aim of life. So it is a good thing that I get ill. I don't want to be ill. Why? Because I know that if I am ill, because I see others, if no one gets ill, there should be no such word in any language, but there is no illness, so that we will have the sense of health, being healthy. So if there is a word for it, it means it is the result of contrast. If there was no black, there would be no sense of whiteness. If there was one color, there will be no sense of color, any color. One color, everything is, let's say, assume that green, although we wouldn't be able to have the sense of greenness, but in reality, that is just an assumption. There is only green. There is no other color at all, everything. Do we have the sense of color? No?
So if there's only green.
But we wouldn't have the sense of color. Even we wouldn't call it as green, because green to what? Green means not blue, not white, not red, not black. Green means this. Then not orange, but green. But there's an option. So we learn only through contrasts. So anything given to us which makes us feel needy, we call it calamities. We call it, what else? Disasters, illnesses, poverty, injustice. These are the words. If there was no injustice, we would never know that such a thing, which is called justice, exists. So the source introducing source of existence introduce himself through the opposites in this world. For example, he introduced himself, I am the creator. How? Through the opposites, createdness of the universe. He says, I am the healer. How do I know that? Through illness. If there was no illness, no createdness, I mean, it is impossible if there was no createdness, but if there was no poverty, if there was no injustice, we would never be aware of the existence of justice and the source of existence of absolute just. We would never be able. So everything is created in order to help us perfect our understanding of our source of existence, the Lord. So how can you tell that it's testing? God is testing me? I don't understand at all. To me, it doesn't make any sense at all. Translating this word as testing somebody. The teacher tests, or your boss tests you. Not the creator of the universe tests you. His aim is to teach you who you are, what your source of existence, get acquainted with this source of existence, and acknowledge and attribute your existence to him. Right? So that you will know who your Lord is. It's the best way of treating, best way of teaching, educating. Unfortunately, we miss this point. We limit our expectations. And if you limit our expectations, if you don't open yourself up to the absolute source, for example, when you get ill, okay, try to heal it, but that's the best, unfortunately, for me that there's such a thing called health. And the health is provided by whom? The health. By what? You have to search for it. Oh, it's good that I'm getting to know that my creator is the healer, an absolute healer. Oh, thank you for teaching me. If there was no hunger, there would be no need for food. If there was no food, I would never have the concept of nourishment provider, helper. I would never know. And if there was no negative things that we think about, our purpose of existence will be nil. there is no purpose. So thanks to the contradictions, thanks to the human expectations in the form of limitedness, so that we understand that the source must be absolute. Yeah, these are interesting points that we have to revise ourselves, renew ourselves. We have to question the concepts we hear. Yeah, we hear from people say that we are believers, we are Muslims, we believe in such and such, such and such, such. Yep, God tests us here. Do you think that you will be, as the famous verse there, do you think we will be left without testing? It means, do you think you will be left without being provided the means to educate yourself?
To pass the test.
Yeah, it means you find out who your creator is with no negativity. Is it possible? Do you understand? So because we are created with this nature that we understand the things in contrast. That's a very famous expression in Arabic. Yeah.
Which one?
يُعْرَفُ الْأَشْيَاءُ بِإِضْدَادِهَا. Yeah.
What?
يُعْرَفُ الْأَشْيَاءُ بِإِضْدَادِهَا. ضد with the contrast. Yeah. If you understand, there's a very famous expression. It's not ayat, it's not hadith, but this is very logical that all Muslim scholars agreed on it. Yeah, that's correct. That's our reality. Sorry?
What does it translate into?
Things are known by their contrasts.
The things are known by their contrast. If there was no contrast, we wouldn't know anything at all. It's very important. So we have to be thankful first when we get hungry. Second, look for the food. But now I get angry that why I am hungry. Be happy. In fact, if you are not hungry, you would never taste the pleasure of food. Yeah? If you never get ill, you will never taste the pleasure of health. If you never get old, Tariq, I'm speaking to you, you will never get the taste of being young. Right? Oh, that is blessing. Alhamdulillah, we are becoming aware of our reality. We are needy and we are provided everything what we need. But in order to teach us what you need, I'm going to provide it. How? With this contrast. Wassalamu alaikum. It's beautiful. So you are on the way to go or what? No? You came with your luggage. Okay. Okay. Inshallah, you will be here for for 2 weeks, you told us. Now, promise to. Inshallah, I see too. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. One announcement. Saturday, we are going to try again. If the old guard comes back, we won't have any trouble. But if the problem that you cannot get in before 11, something like that, if you are there, be patient. Inshallah, the administration is going to work on it. If the trouble remains.
Persists.
Sorry? Persists. If it is not, alhamdulillah, we will not ask the administration to do anything. Otherwise, they will promise us that they will do something as much as they can. If the problem persists. Wassalamu alaikum. So don't be frustrated. Inshallah, next Saturday.